What's up, y'all? It's Spicy AF, and I'm back with another spicy topic. Help support this video by liking. Also, follow me on X, is Spicy AF, and at SpiceTSpill on Instagram. Here is my picture. Subscribe and share. And yet another one comes forward. Diddy is back where it all started, in Brooklyn, fighting for his freedom. All types of life sentences, y'all. Racketeering, sex trafficking, drug trafficking. In fact, when they picked him up at the hotel, they said he had pink cocaine in his room. So this man put a bail package, a whole package, his lawyer and team to get bail. 50 million. He put up his mom's house, and he gave up his passports of his kids. He wanted all that to be out on bail, and yet when they go pick him up, he got drugs in his hotel room. They denied his bail again, so he still sits in prison. Meanwhile, Gloria Alred, this is a woman of age who is not slowing down. She is a woman that has proven ability to win cases. She was the main reason that R. Kelly had to pay out so many of his victims, right? Gloria Alred is back at it, and this time she is fighting for a young woman named Talia Graves. Talia Graves, who appears to me, I think she's Indian, but I could be off. But Talia is doing a press conference with Gloria and detailing the horrific events that took place. I get a feeling, and I could be wrong, that Talia has something to do with one of the other stories that I actually did. Make sure you check it out. It's on Nike. Nike, a singer who was also SA. She just told her story. She did not file a lawsuit. She did tell a story about being in the studio with her manager being a woman, and in that story she did not drink the drink they wanted her to drink. She pretended to, but they were pushing up on her, and she said right when she was about to get SA, she asked God to help her and get her out of there, and she got out of there. They pinned her up, but she got out of there. But she was afraid of what happened to her manager, and I am thinking the manager she spoke about was Talia. And it could be, as I said, it could have been, it could not be. She said that her manager was going to sue or come forward soon, and here we are. It seems similar. So Talia is very upset, visibly crying, serious tears, and these are not fake, because a lot of times you do see fake tears. And she is detailing being put on a pool table, being essayed by Diddy and his acquaintance. I believe it was a security guard, y'all. Not only that, there are suggestions that there's revenge porn where he was selling videos without her consent. That's a crime. I know they're suing, but now we're talking about a whole crime, y'all. Let's get into this.
You know what I forgot to mention, y'all? So I sing, and when I was younger, I really would travel. I would a lot of times get on a train. I would just go to different states, drive to different states, and I would really network and meet a lot of different people. So I had my cousin with me one time, went to New York City, and we went to Daddy's house. And I remember, I don't remember like very well, but I do remember the elevator. We saw Shine in the elevator, and it was something very different about the elevator door, or there was a door that I recall. It was like a odd shape, like a round shape, some different peculiar shape. Anyone who's been to Daddy's house, you would know that there's a different shape in it, and I think it was like more round. I mean, that's just nothing much to that story, but I had thought about that. Oh yeah, we did see Shine in the elevator. He smiled, we smiled, we was like, oh, so that was just something. It's just sad to see this empire, this guy who has all this power. And I really liked Diddy when I was younger. Like, I looked up to Diddy, y'all. And I've mentioned it before. I had a journal called Puff Daddy. I actually named my journal, and I would actually talk to Diddy. I would write to Diddy. This is way back when he first started and blew up, and he was managing Total, Mary J. This is when Mace was on the scene. More money, more money, more problems. Don't push me, cause I'm trying. You know what I mean? Back when those songs was really laid at that time. It was really that time. Diddy was really coming up, but he was definitely a power player. Everybody wanted to be with Diddy, wanted to be with him, period. So I can imagine the women that he attracted. And unfortunately for this one here we're talking about, let me make a correction, her name is Thalia. I heard Gloria say Talia. See, this is what happens when somebody else, moms and them, mess up names, and then you repeat the messed up names until you learn the real name. So her name is Thalia, at least according to the way that it's spelled. And I also want to mention, I don't know for sure if this is the same woman that Nike Heaton was referring to, who was her manager, who had also been at Daddy's house, the studio. And I told y'all, her manager had actually drank the drink. Kanye, she said, was there. Groupies was there. Diddy was there. Bodyguards was there at the studio, and she was cornered. And this is her allegation. She has her own, she said her own thing on live. So I did a video about that as well. But she mentioned she had a manager there. Her manager was separated from her, and she was so scared and hoping that her manager had not drank that alcohol, because she just knew something wasn't right about it. The girls were being separated into different rooms, and it was like 2 men to 1 woman, and the men were like cornering the women. It was really dark in there. She described it. It was just not pleasant. But remember, this is during that time when Diddy was hot. This is 2001. So I know I was just a year out of high school at that time, y'all. But let's hear Thalia's story. And this is only written words. Words can't describe the gravity of her pain, her emotional trauma, her physical trauma that she describes, having issues connecting with her own boyfriend, her own man. I don't know if it's her husband, but her own partner, and having issues. She said even feeling withdrawn and just not even comfortable in her own skin as a result of the SA that took place with her. So let's get into this here. In the early 90s, Thalia started dating an employee of Bad Boy Records, which is how she claims she knows Combs. She alleges that she met his employer and friends several times in late 1999 and early 2000. And this is when he was really hot. Everybody wanted to be around Diddy. We was over there at his studio. Didn't know us. We was just trying to get in. Thank God we didn't get in. But everybody, right? When she frequently visited her then boyfriend at the Bad Boy Studio in New York City and attended events at Combs' homes, Thalia claims that she became familiar with Combs, who knew about her relationship with his ambitious employee. However, things allegedly turned darker in the summer of 2001. Her boyfriend worked for Diddy, and everything was good. 1999, 2000, and she spent like 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, surrounded around or just in proximity with Diddy and his bodyguards. Imagine the size of It says here, in her 26-page complaint against Combs filed in Manhattan Federal Court, Thalia alleges that the record executive called her around summer 2001, saying that he wanted to talk to her about her boyfriend's job. Committed to helping her man, who was determined to climb up the ladder, she agreed to meet with Combs. Shortly after, an SUV arrived at her mother's house in Queens with Sherman, Combs' security chief, behind the wheel, and Combs in the back seat. She claims that Combs offered her a glass of wine, which she accepted during the ride. After just a few sips, Thalia began to feel lightheaded and dizzy and lost consciousness. When she woke up, she found herself marked, and her hands were tied behind her back with what felt like a plastic grocery bag. She alleges that Sherman and Combs both violently raped her before she lost consciousness again. When she came to, she claimed that Sherman forced her to perform oral sex on him and she lost consciousness again. According to the complaint, she allegedly woke up on the sofa in Combs' office with her dress thrown on top of her. A friend picked her up and took her to the hospital to report the attack, but she was shaking and crying hysterically and couldn't leave the car as she was terrified of what Combs would do to her and her family. She told her then boyfriend, but he implored her not to report the alleged R word, saying it will harm his career. Thalia claimed that multiple times over the years, Combs and Sherman warned her to stay quiet about the assault, threatening repercussions such as physical violence and losing custody of her son. The alleged harassment got so intense that she moved to Pennsylvania, she said. She claims that she only found out that Combs had filmed their attack on her in 2023 when her ex said that the pair had shown him and other men the video. Her ex told Thalia that Combs and Sherman had a pattern and practice of non-consensually recording women engaging in sexual acts and making those videos available to the public, including by selling tapes as pornography. Combs nor his legal team have not responded to Thalia's lawsuit.
When you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that it revives such claims and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct.
One of the things Thalia mentioned was that her boyfriend at the time worked for Diddy and he wanted to move up in his position. Listen to the key words. Up in his position. It makes me feel that Diddy may have propositioned him and said, hey, if you want a higher position here at this company, let me sleep with your girlfriend. And maybe her boyfriend set up a date, maybe manipulated and deceived. I'm speculating here, but it's pretty assuming. And then it makes me wonder about other celebrities like Beyonce, who hung around with Jay-Z, and there's a lot of other celebrity couples that went to those parties as well. As you heard the FBI agents say, a lot of these SAs happen at after parties, New Year's Eve parties. They were there at both 2013 and another New Year's Eve party. It's amazing how our favorite celebrities could have been in the same area of these assaults could have even been victims themselves. Were there other celebrities that was drugged and R-worded, just like Thalia was, propositioned by their husbands, their boyfriends, in order to get ahead? Let me sleep with your wife, let me sleep with your girlfriend. Even for the kids that wanted to get ahead, these things could have happened. Well, the bodyguard that Thalia claimed also R-worded her and forced her to do oral, he is denying this because social media came out due to his name being said in her press conference. He's coming out upset and denying it, y'all. Here's what he has to say. Okay, so I wasn't able to play the video due to copyright, so I just tell you, the woman Thalia was looking for the person that R-worded her with Diddy, the bodyguard. The way Sherman or Joseph Sherman had interpreted this to the woman that was interviewing her was, this woman comes to me, hey, are you Joe? Did you used to work for Diddy? He tried to spin it as if this woman was trying to pin something on him and he was innocent. And as to this picture, this was just a character of this guy and what he was into. And what he tried to spin on this is that he's single, he can do that, he's grown, it was his birthday. And see, remember, these charges say that they R-worded her. They, as in Diddy and Joe Sherman, the bodyguard, R-worded her, and then sold videos saying that Joe Sherman sold the pornographic material. And so he's saying he had a magazine at the time and it wasn't naked women, but they were close to it, looking like strippers or some playmates. But he was spinning it as though he could do that. Now questions arise. Yeah, you was his bodyguard, but Diddy might have been paying you some money. But see, even when it comes to the ex-boyfriend was trying to get a promotion in the company at Daddy's house or wherever he worked with Diddy, could you have been paid? Could you have profited off of the videotapes showing your R-wording this woman, drugging and R-wording this woman? He's saying it's not him, and he's spinning it as though she don't even know who she's looking for. They're trying to make her look like a liar and discredit her character, and that is what they do. That is what I've done it before. That's what people do to R-worded victims, sadly, and I have done that in the past. I don't particularly do that now. Now, there are some women that lie, and that's just the way it is. So some women should be discredited, maybe some men. But I saw this woman crying on that press conference, y'all. I don't believe without a doubt that she's lying at all. Okay, but is it enough? Because where did you get the funds to fund the magazine business he had? The pornographic or explicit material that his magazines carry, does that go to his character? It just makes you wonder who gave you the money, and then your mind gets to wondering, what did you have to do to prove yourself, your loyalty to Diddy? Did Diddy help you with funding your business? Is this in your character? He says this was his birthday, he's single. He never admitted that he didn't R-word her. He did say he never met her and he would never disrespect her. And the fact that she would ask him on his Instagram, is this you? Well, there could be a billion Joe Shermans or Joseph Sherman. So she wanted to confirm, is this the right one, before she laid down an allegation on him. I don't know how good this is looking for Sherm because of the nature of the case that Diddy is dealing with and the people that the FBI can see on the videos. It may just be a dead giveaway. It just might. Through some of the footage, is he on these videos? And with all of the allegations, Diddy has all of the concrete evidence that investigators have against him. Will his word and his aggressions be enough? Or will they be able to charge this man and also sue him?
And she has the boyfriend, y'all, and she's struggling to have sexual contact with her boyfriend. She talks about how it's even painful physically for her. Y'all, we are talking about a federal crime that Diddy is facing. So you know what? With some of that 50 million that he was trying to use for his bail money, can you just go ahead and front her that money that you owe her for violently RASA in her? Because that's what it's given. Especially with Gloria on the case. Gloria is not going to let up on this. And then they said there's others that Gloria is representing. So y'all, it's just getting dirtier and dirtier for Diddy. He was getting drugged up and he was wilding out. And it's crazy because R. Kelly just went down for stuff like this. And yet and still you have people like Boosie, who is trying to talk about how this is a black man and be like, this type of stuff and behavior. I can't even listen to it because it's ridiculous. You're not even paying attention to the facts. It's like he just goes straight on the camera and want to defend wrong behavior, total wrong behavior. Nigga, are you listening to all these women? Did you watch the Cassie video? If so, how can you still say that Diddy is innocent or give any type of idea that he has any excuse? There's no excuse or reason for his behavior. You shouldn't be defending him. It doesn't make you look good. I can understand the first black man that came out recently getting told, all this media attention, and you want to take up for him and you want to be on his side and you want to ride for him. But this is not the look. That was R. Kelly. That happened. They went through years to take that man down. You should have learned. For Diddy to see the fate of R. Kelly and still continue this behavior, why are you defending him? He knew the repercussions for his actions. Jeffrey Epstein, Weinstein, they see each other go down, and yet they still don't correct their behavior in any kind of way. After R. Kelly, Cassie was still getting abused. Kim Porter was being abused after. So there's no excuse for this type of thing. There's no taking up for this after you see these men keep doing these things. Keep fighting on women instead of fighting on men. And who needs you to fight anyway? It's funny, but it's mad crazy how black men like to hit on women, but they don't. What about the ones like the racial groups that go and target black women? What about the racist groups that goes and target elderly black women, that goes and bully black kids? Why y'all don't never have smoke for them? Why don't y'all take your hyper aggression to those men and those people, and you have at least a little bit of validation for fighting for that cause? But you beating up on your own women that you want to love you back. It's time. It's time for everybody behind closed doors, all those celebrities that are beating their women up that we don't even know about yet. And I told y'all I have suspicions. I don't know if Beyonce's getting hit, and I don't know. I don't think so. But I do see some behaviors that display unhappiness, that's putting on a fake smile. I don't think she's getting beat up, y'all. But I think that she, if anything, some of these celebrities been victims of surrounding Diddy. So instead of Boosie trying to chant for Diddy, who watched R. Kelly go down, who saw what happened, and he did not correct his actions. He kept going, beating women up, or essaying women, selling tapes, getting them drugged up, and all this other stuff. Engaging in illegal, having his team engaged, which is racketeering. All that. Why are you taking up for that? And you saw what happened. It's no excuse no more. It's no taking up for this. This is a sickness, and we gotta get it out of the community. There's no defending this anymore. There's none. They can choose to believe what they want, but they lying to themselves. They know better. They do. Even Suge Knight is speaking up against Diddy, and he's wondering why all these people naming names. Jay-Z, yo, what's up? Why are you not speaking out? Why are y'all? You know, I commend Ye, because Kanye was getting on everybody's so-called getting on everybody's nerves before, but Ye was saying this when he was talking all the other hype stuff like last year, and now look. Out of the blue, Ye kept saying things about Diddy. Remember, Diddy contacted him and he didn't want nothing to do with Diddy. But look now. He was right. He was right. He was telling us what was going on. But were we listening? It's a shame. Poor Talia. She has to deal with this. And people watched her being abused. And they took it. And I'm sad that it's sad. You know, that she has to go through this. Man. The fact that my own people out here going on, just messing with other people, poisoning them, just terrorizing their community, is just horrendous. Y'all gotta watch who y'all go around. You always want to be around a popular crew. Always want to be around an it crew. You never want to be a leader. You always want to be the follower. And you, not the victims, but a lot of times you end up victimized because you're trying so hard to get accepted. You need to just get counseling, pray about it, and then stop trying to be around all these bad people. Stop, because look where it ends up, man. It's just not cool. Let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments, hit that thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned, because we got more to come. Peace.